Hi there, so my Ford Courier has just had its sync system upgraded to version 3.4 and I just thought I'd show you the differences from my original video reviewing the system. Unfortunately I don't know what version that original one was. It was the version that was supplied with the car, which was March 2020. I had a problem with the system where very occasionally in reverse I'd get a black screen instead of the reversing camera. So the garage said they could upgrade to this more stable Sync 3.4 for me, which they've done. The graphics are quite different and I'm going to show you the changes now. The first thing is that the colour scheme is quite different. This is on the dark mode with the darkest black background and it's still all quite light. I think I preferred the old very black look to it. And you can see the fonts have changed. I think the top bar might have increased in size and is definitely rather clearer. This is what the old home screen used to look like. The layout's still the same, but the graphics are a bit different. Looking at the SatNav, one thing I think is a new feature is that turning the tuning knob zooms the map in and out. And I think that's a really nice feature and a lot easier to use when you're driving than having to do things on the touchscreen, the plus and minus buttons. I've also noticed there's now an auto option for the zoom, which I think will zoom in and out depending on what sort of road you're on. This is what the home display looks like with the speed limit there, and you'll see it's a lot bigger than on the old version. And then if I go to the navigation, it's the same size on that screen as well. If we go into the radio menu, we can see that the radio, the layout of the information has been changed quite a lot. The radio station name is a lot smaller than it was, and generally the layout has changed. And also they've got rid of the buttons for changing between the groups of presets, and now it's a sort of swipe across menu with these dots telling you which one you're on. So here we have the old radio display with the rather larger station name and the presets button for changing preset group. I notice on the AM radio they haven't addressed the bug where when you get to long wave when you're scanning around the frequencies, it no longer displays the correct frequency. You see we're now on, it stopped on one of the presets 198 long wave and it's still saying 1620 as the frequency. I don't really ever use the phone stuff. I did look around it once when it was raining and I had nothing better to do waiting in the car, but really the Android Auto seemed to be pretty nothing in there that I'd ever use, and I don't want to use the phone when I'm driving. We'll just have a quick look in the display menu to show you the new backgrounds and things that are available. So the backgrounds are very similar actually. If I can get some reflections off the screen. I'm on the blackest one in there. There are these other slightly blue ones. You might be able to see them a bit better now. But they're all relatively light compared to what it was. I'm on the darkest brightness at the moment as well. And then that's in night mode, and day mode I never really used it on day mode before, because it's all quite, some of it's darker than on night mode. It's a bit strange. Day mode now seems to be a bizarre combination of blacker than night mode and very white. But the map obviously is a lot lighter as well. So it's one of those things that comes back from a service and they always make the joke about these touchscreens. Oh yes, the software's been upgraded and everything's completely different now. Well, the changes are fairly subtle and livable with. Another thing I've found since having the car is that as well as this USB socket here, there's also one behind the glove box. The fuse box is somewhere here behind the glove box, and there's another module here with a USB socket on it, which I've brought out to a little lead here. And if you plug a USB stick into there, then on the radio you'll get extra sources, and if you've got two memory sticks plugged in, one into each USB socket, it'll appear as two different alternative USB socket sources. So I hope that's useful, just showing you some of the features that have changed in the new version of Sync 3.4. I think for me the colour schemes aren't quite as good, the text's a bit clearer, the speed limit symbol, that's much better because it's bigger. In fact, I've got a snooper thing which I put up there which shows the speed limit very clearly because it was just so small before, but I don't think I'd have bothered with that if I'd have had the slightly bigger speed limit display. And if the DAB service link works, that's a good improvement, and hopefully they've sorted the clock out as well.